What's going on, and welcome back to another You Ask, We Tell. I'm Steve Young from Global Data Systems. We appreciate you being here. And for this week's question, we hear it so much, and it seems to be a huge pain point for different people within the healthcare IT community. And the question is it difficult to switch from one MSP to a new one? How difficult is that process? And to many people's surprise, we always answer the same way. No, it really isn't that difficult. There are variables along the way that can make it a little bit more tricky, but along with a experienced MSP and a refined process, it's really not that bad. So let's go through a couple of different variables that can affect this. Number one, how much do you know as a practice administrator, as an owner of a practice, of an IT director, how much do you really know about your IT infrastructure or your environment? The more you know and the more knowledge base you have built up, it's going to make it easier for that transition process, because you'll be able to give that knowledge base to the new MSP, which will just make a smooth transition. It'll allow you to essentially move the process along faster because of the knowledge that you've accumulated about your own environment. Number two is related to number one in many ways, but this one's more the knowledge base that your MSP you're moving away from has built up. So is the knowledge base they've created, is there the documenting system that they've created for your company or practice, how robust is it? Have they really put time and effort into it? Do they document everything about your environment, all the little intricacies and things that they can hand off to the new MSP? And are they even willing to work with the new MSP is another question that has to be answered. But the more that knowledge base is built up and the more information that they have, the easier that transition can be. Number three is about your existing hardware, so servers, firewalls, wireless access points, pretty much everything. Is it yours or is it rented or leased from your MSP that you're moving away from? If it's rented or leased, it's going to be a little bit more difficult, because you're going to have to either purchase new hardware or you're going to have to outright purchase the rest of that leased or rental agreement. Usually they will let you and allow you to buy out that contract. In very rare instances, you'll have to purchase new hardware. Either way, that's more of a price issue as opposed to a timeline issue. It's still a fluid process, just can allow you to have to spend a little extra money. But in most instances, it's not the case, and you're just able to purchase the rest of the rental or lease agreement from them. Number four, and finally, does the MSP that you're moving to, the new MSP, do they have a plan of attack? And if they do, and they have a refined process to get from point A to B to C to D, no matter how difficult it can be along the way, they're going to have a way to get around it and work through it. So the more refined, the more experience that MSP has that you're moving to, the plain and simple, it's just going to be a much smoother transition into their environment. And that's really it. That's all for this week's You Ask, We Tell, where we're taking on healthcare IT's most asked questions. The headaches associated with switching MSPs can be laid to rest. The stereotypes around it can be put down, because it really isn't that difficult. It's not tough. It just depends on a couple different variables. But at the end of the day, what will trump all of the issues that come with it is an experienced MSP with a refined process to do so. We really hope you enjoyed this week's You Ask, We Tell. If you are enjoying these videos, please remember to hit the subscribe button below, or reach out at one of our social media platforms and our number right here. We'd be happy to answer any of your questions that you have. We'll see you next week.